Hey guys, and welcome back to another rendition of Humble Friday with me, Brad Fitzpatrick. I just got off work, so I'm sorry if it's a little late. But for the month of February, we start off with our three ones that were early unlocks, which was Earth Defense Force 4.1, Cultist Simulator, and Warhammer Vermintide. Warhammer Vermintide is back, darker, bloodier, and more intense than ever. Warhammer Vermintide 2 is the sequel to the critically acclaimed Vermintide. The tide has arrived to revisit the fierce first-person co-op slaughterfest featuring visceral and groundbreaking melee action set in the apocalyptic end times of the war-ravaged Warhammer Fantasy Battles world. It's a very interesting game. It is first-person multiplayer. Not a lot of story, but I mean it could be. It's got co-op, so it's great. Earth Defense Force 4.1, The Shadow of New Despair. This came with all of its DLC, which is actually pretty interesting. It took a long time to upload. But it's a fight for the future of the planet where the Ravagers, a merciless swarm of alien invaders, and the Earth Defense Force, EDF, in this third-person shooter. The most overwhelming numerous forces of Ravagers the series has ever seen will take the EDF fighters to the depths of despair and back. It's an interesting game. Third person, obviously, the insects, the aliens are rather insect-like, with really interesting backdrops, lots of explosions. So if that's your kind of thing, it's actually pretty great. Cultist Simulator actually is one of the games that I'd like to play. I've wanted to play it since it first came out. Just haven't done it yet. I've been really busy and really sick. I'm actually coming off of a really bad flu, so I haven't played very much of anything. But Cultist Simulator is a game of apocalypse and yearning from Alexis Kinney, creator of Fallen London and Sunless Sea. Sunless Sea, awesome game. Play as a seeker after unholy mysteries in the 1920s themed setting of hidden gods and secret histories. Perhaps you're looking for knowledge, or power, or beauty, or revenge. Perhaps you just want the colors beneath the skin of the world. Tower Unite. Tower Unite is a living, evolving world fueled by the community. Play online minigames like Mini Golf, Virus, Little Crusaders, and Zombie Massacre with your friends, or make new friends from around the world. The way the game looks to be set up looks very much like PlayStation had its own little worlds there for a while, which was kind of interesting, but I haven't done much with it after a long time. But it looks kind of relatively like that. Earn items, decorate your own personalized house, and throw a party for all your friends. Create custom models and import them directly to the game with Steam Workshop. Late Shift. Ooh, this one's supposed to be really good. All live actors. It's a high-stakes FMV crime thriller. After being forced into the robbery of a lucrative auction house, mathematics student Matt is left proving his innocence in the brutal London heist. Your choices will have consequences from the very start, right through to the very end. One small decision could change the entire outcome in a choose-your-own-adventure style gameplay that can lead to one of 7 conclusions. And it's all FMV, full motion video, as that says. It is all live action, so it's pretty interesting. It's been on my radar for a while now. I just haven't picked it up, so I'm glad I kind of got that. Paradigm. Oh, I've actually seen, I think it was Game Grumps or Jacksepticeye play this game. One of the guys that I watch. Paradigm is a surreal adventure game set in a strange and post-apocalyptic Eastern European country of Cruz. Play as the handsome mutant Paradigm, whose past comes back to haunt him in the form of a genetically engineered sloth that vomits candy. It's very funny, very weird, but a really interesting game. Fightin' Rage. Fightin' Rage is a brand new, old-school, side-scrolling beat-em-up inspired by the classics of the Golden Age, and with an art style that mimics the aesthetic from the 90s arcade gems. This game pays homage to all the classic gameplay features that makes this genre one of the best from its time. So it's basically your Golden Axe, Streets of Rage sort of game, which is interesting. I'd really, I'd play this. If it has local co-op, you'll probably see this being played pretty soon. Slipstream is a racing game inspired by the visuals, music, games, and cars from the late 80s and early 90s. It's built on a custom game engine with an authentic retro feel and unique graphics. The soundtrack, drawing from synth pop and jazz fusion influences, sets the tone for a race across a variety of exotic locations from all around the world, including cities, deserts, forests, mountains, and beaches. I'm not a big racing guy, so I probably won't even touch this. The humble original for this month is 20-Minute Metropolis. Centuries after a nuclear war, you're charged with building civilization. It's your job to create a functioning city in 20 years. That's 20 minutes, real time. Begin by laying roads to bring food to your people, then build apartments to give them somewhere to live. That's really interesting. So 20-Minute Metropolis is like a really quick Sims game that you can play in one sitting. I might have to download that and play that because that seems really interesting and fun. Now, March's games, first games. You're going to have Northgard, really interesting sim game in itself. Mutant Road to Eden. I really want to play this one. It's going to be very XCOM reminiscent, very hard. And then Absolver Downfall, which I do have Absolver already. I have played this on the channel. I really was hyped for it. It really didn't give me much of what I was hyped for. I really probably should play a little bit more of it. I just, I couldn't get back into it after I kind of lost my want and need to actually play the game. But, with Downfall, it might be something I might jump back into. But there you go, guys. Those are your Humble Friday games for February. Some really interesting games on here. And hopefully next month we'll have some really interesting games to go with as well. Until then, guys, if there are any of these games that you'd like to see played, just leave me a comment, send me a message, whatever you'd like, and they'll be yours. And, excuse the high-vis shirt and the side shields and the messed up hair and, just the general face that nobody really likes. But until next time, remember, always be kind to each other, and I'll see you in the next one.